And for Lal Ded, I completely understand. If you would like to leave now, do that. Not a problem. Uh, but push off fast. Try not to have conversations in the middle of this thing. I believe in keeping time, so it's 12:15, and I was told I would read from 12 to 12:30, so I will read till 12:30. 2 poems or 3 poems, and then I will leave. You know, when you start writing poetry with the deep seriousness of the belief that you're supposed to be making something large and big. This is terrible light. Something large and big and beautiful. Why are you blinding me? Okay, so you're supposed to be making something large and big and beautiful, and of all things, most importantly, it must be meaningful. And the meaning comes out of sorrow. The meaning comes out of taking off your clothes and showing your wounds, your scars. And so the first poem takes that feeling, but it is funny for me because it started when we were told, write a love poem. Let's all write a love poem. Like, really, seriously. There is never... Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. But when you tell them go, they don't go. Yeah. You give them time to go and they don't go. Then when you start your set, then they go. That is what we do. Okay. So, here we go. Arundhati Subramaniam, a friend of mine, and I set ourselves this task. We said, let's write a love poem. And we both wrote hate poems. Because hidden under love is hate. Well, if you're a poet, write me a poem. I thought about it, and I thought that for you this should be another kind of poem, a seed poem. You can do so much with a seed poem. Turn that mic, turn that camera, do some work. Okay. You can plant it, nurture it, breathe on it, so that one day it burgeons, brings forth ripe, unsegmented fruit. But seed poems need so much more than good intentions. We stuck ours into a pot, a bonsai pot, with glass bits cut into its side. With nail scissors, we snipped its leaves, forced it to fruit, and closed our ears to its green screams. So this time I thought about it. I'm going to give you a deodorant. Its contents are inflammable and stored under pressure. Okay. That went down a bit like a stone. Yeah. So I'm going to just switch to the 13th century. In the 13th century, there was a wonderful woman, Zanabai, and at the starting of this journey that I took with the Varkari poets, when Neela Bhagwat and I translated the Varkari poets, began when we were in a gym together. Yeah, these things happen in Mahim, which is why this is Mahim ka Jerry talking to you. In Mahim, there are gyms, and there are expensive gyms, and there are cheap gyms. And both Neela Bhagwat and I, being socialist artists, we went to the cheap gym. And one day we were on the treadmill together. And the music in gyms, if you have noticed, is very rarely Bach. It is also very rarely Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia. That we reserve for morning gatherings. When we go to the gym, however, it is the belief of the gym owner that you must play ding chaka ding chaka ding chaka ding chaka music so that you will walk ding chaka ding chaka ding chaka on the treadmill. And I turned to Neela, who is a classical singer, and I said, how do you bear this? And she said, it keeps me in touch with what people are listening to. It makes me so happy to be singing what I am singing. And I listen to the percussion. which I thought was a good way to do it. And then one day, the music failed. The music system failed. And the young man came up and said, "Sorry, sir, music won't work." Both of us smiled at each other. A quiet smile that said, "We want our money back." Because if you are Indian, you want your money back. If you didn't get 2 laughs, you'd want your money back, even though you didn't give any money. Because now there is roti. Roti could only have been invented in India and sounds like something that an old lady thought up in her kitchen. Return on time invested. Roti. Let me make rotis for you, right? So, return on time invested. I've counted the laughs. There were 7 so far. You're not getting any money back. 8. Whoa! We're rocking this. Okay. So, I said to her, "Neela, why don't you sing?" Now, this is the kind of thing you do not say to a classical musician. Because classical musicians need the time of day, they need the mridangam on that side, and they need the santoor, and they need the sitar, and they need the tabalchi, and they need the tabla, and they need the lamp, and they need the, is it asli ghee? No, quite clearly, 1 drop on the top. Like ghee roast, 1 drop of ghee on the top, you get the smell, that's enough. The rest can be palm oil. Perfectly all right. But you can say this to Neela because she's a socialist and she believes that anyone who can speak can sing. And she will teach anybody, including, very startlingly once, a beggar woman who was singing on the road. Yeah, that's Neela, which is why I love her, okay, and which is why I can work with her. So I said, "Neela, why don't you sing?" So she sang Mungi Udali Akashi, okay? And suddenly, the joy of this moment is the joy of actually understanding that you can listen to a song, you can listen to it, each line, and each time the line comes and goes, you can reinterpret it. Like Mungi Udali Akashi, an ant flew into the sky. The next line is Tine Gilile Suryanshi. She swallowed the sun. What is going on? An ant flew into the sky. Is that an eclipse? A black mouth of an ant swallows the sun. No, maybe it is little, yeah, come, Mike, come, camera, come. Okay, you got that? Okay. like to do this. Maybe it is a young Muktabai picking up an ant, holding it up to the sun, closing one eye, and eclipsing the sun. Or maybe it is what happens when God appears to you. And there's a meltdown of sunshine and lava and love and fear, terror. Mungi Udali Akashi, Tine Gilile Suryanshi. Is that what's happening? Just because she could sing the song again, the line again and again, I could listen again and again. And so we started on this journey. And then came this poem from Zanabai, which I absolutely loved. Khanderaya Tulamarina Bakara. Already you know that this is not your classical bhakti, oh my goodness, we are so in debt with God, to God. This is bhakti which is offering you a deal. Khanderao, what if I sacrifice a ram? Khanderao, what if I offer you a ram? Would you be kind and kill my man? When my man's gone, I'll guffaw. And then please kill my mother-in-law. When she's dead, I'll get some rest. My brother-in-law, take him next. Now that death would give me bliss. My sister-in-law is next on the list. Her death would finally set me free to set out as a Varkari. Jani says, Khande, kill them one by one and let me stay by your feet alone. And just if you are laughing, and just if you are happy, let me just remind you from Muktabai, yeah. Muktabai I fell in love with, totally fell in love with. Muktabai and Soirabai. I could settle down with these chicks. He totally loved them forever. Okay, Muktabai does not bow and grovel to God and demand anything from him. She looks him straight in the eye and she tells him she knows him for what he is. And she does this magnificent poem called Sukha che shevti dukh ale beti, which is joy and sorrow. First came joy, and on the morrow, hard on her heels, a visit from sorrow. First came joy, and then came sorrow. Hard on her heels, a visit from sorrow. Just as we settled down to grieving, sorrow announced that she was leaving. Joy and sorrow, what's the difference? Both are sisters, born of ignorance. Muktai tells Sangya, self-born the soul, standing like a banyan, erect and whole. I have 5 minutes, so I'm going to move quickly to the end. No, one of the most important things that I have taught my students all my life is punctuality, 12 to 12:30. No, I won't. Simple. Oh, by public demand and throwing of 500 rupee notes, of course I'll go on. But make little arrows of your 500 rupee notes and point them at me. Let's make this thing into a dance bar. Remember I told you it's about taking off your clothes in public? Poetry reading? Are you surprised? Okay, so fundamentally I think I was given my half an hour by the magnificent Shiny Anthony simply because I once did a poem. Okay, I checked into this hotel yesterday and it is a lovely hotel. It's a magnificent hotel, right? I have always believed when you come into a hotel, you are actually going to be tested, whether you are worthy of this hotel or not. And the test is, can you figure out the shower? You go in and you turn one knob and it pours down on you, cold. And then it gets hot. And then it's somewhere in between. And then you look for something to wash yourself with. And you start by thinking the thing nearest you must be it. And you rub yourself down with it. And you find that you have shampooed one armpit. This is why my left armpit is much more fertile in hair than my right armpit. Because my left armpit has been shampooed thoroughly. And then I have discovered that it is shampoo. So I think, why not give it conditioner as well? Because that's the next bottle, conditioner. Someone someday thought, there used to be soap, right? Just soap. We soaped everything. And someone was shouting outside the door, behind your ears? There? Have you done there properly? So you would say, where's there? And they say, I'll come and slap you. And you'd say, come. And your mother would say, I will. You just come out and say. And you say, that's what I'm doing. You say, no, wash there properly. Okay, so you're doing all this with soap. And then someone decided, face wash. Don't use it on your neck. If you use it on your neck will disintegrate. Face wash. Then hair wash, which they decided in their wisdom to call shampoo, which is actually massage. Chumpy. No sense in that. Then hair conditioner. Then after that came body wash. Body wash is soap. Yeah, but liquid. Feel it. How much can you waste if you pour it on your hand, yeah? And then comes intimate wash. For there. Now there will be washed. But it will not be washed by soap. There will be washed with this. Tomorrow, young people here in the audience with still enough collagen, you will find that you have eyebrow wash. And nostril wash. All kinds of washes will be available. And the only thing that will be clean is your bank account. Thank you. Applause is good, money is better. Okay, now another little joke, because this is Hasya Rasa, that was perpetrated on me, but by the fates. They saw me dragging my weary corpus here, thinking, tomorrow it is poetry. They've come for poetry. They will buy my books, perhaps. I come to the bookshop, not one book. So this is the economy of scarcity, folks. There is one book outside that is Jerry Pinto's poetry. Go and buy it. All of you, start a bidding war. Do not pay the price. Everybody keep shouting. And then finally sell it for millions of dollars or whatever. Never mind, we won't go there. That's part of the joy of living. Okay? The joy of living is that you are never going to be sure what will happen. And what will happen now is I will read the poem that brought me here, and then we will come to a tremendous and happy close. And this phone, of course, was not designed for me. This phone was designed for somebody very much younger than me. So I never get it. To browse office files, photos, and media, you'll need to I'm not allowing you access. Go away. It didn't, so maybe I have to allow it access. Go to settings. Like, seriously, guys, settings now? I don't have any girlfriends here. Setting is Bombay slang for your girlfriend. Okay, sorry. Disgusting. So sexist. Call him out. Cancel the little bastard. He's had his run. Okay, 1 minute. I'm still going to find it. You can see I'm just chattering madly because I'm trying to find like that download. Where are you, for fuck's sake? Okay, come on. I was so happy. I thought I was all set. I'd beaten this thing, right? I'd beaten the absence of the book. Okay, here we go. My files. I'll be here in a moment. I want a poem. Not now. I want a poem. Are you doing this? Okay, word. Okay. No. Because then they'll do stand-up comedy about it. And the uncle now was wearing a kurta. And he took off his glasses to look at his phone. When they take off their glasses to look at their phone now, you know that they are past 50. Which is very true. All of it is true, but fuck off, I'm not giving you that pleasure. I'm not letting you help me. I will do this somehow. Okay, 1 minute. Let's just go through Word. Now, fuck it. Okay. The Abu Dhabi Literary Festival invited me for some completely incomprehensible reason. Decided to invite me to their festival. And they put me into a hotel room at the Radisson, okay? And at the Radisson, I walked into the hotel room and I thought, this is not my room, okay? So this is love poem to my hotel room at the Radisson, 1635. Room, you were not meant for me. You were meant for some businessman called Bab, who stands by the window looking out at the gold souk, talking to Narash and to Sahil and to people across the globe as he fixes multi-million-dollar deals. Room, you were meant for someone with 2 mistresses, a Saluki and a vacation home in another continent where they do not speak his language. Room, you have a bathroom and running water, 24 hours running water. Right out here in the desert, you manage 24 hours running water, and I living in a semi-equatorial place with hundreds of inches of rain, all of which comes on one day. I don't get water. Room, your air is clean. And I'm so unused to it that my nose is running. And the river that hits the stubble on my upper lip is full of the silt and soot of Bombay. I miss you, silt and suit. Room, your bed. Must it be so yielding? Bed, can you have a little self-respect? Bed, do not be needy. Bed, let me go. I want to go back to the bathroom. I want to dabble my fingers in fresh running water streams. Room, you have 4 paintings. And I would study each of those paintings like a connoisseur. But one is above the pot. And it would mean that I would have to kneel on the pot to study the painting. And this would suggest some form of perversion to your room. And so I'm not going to. That painting will go unstudied. Room, you cost 1,635 dirhams a day plus local tax plus luxury tax plus some other tax that I cannot even remember. Room, I have not earned this much money from my poetry. I want to stay awake, room, because I want to enjoy every 1 minute of those dirhams. I cannot sleep here. I must be awake. Room, your lights, there are no switches. There are sensors. And I brush my fingers past those sensors. On, off, on, off, on, off. Room, you're turning me into a pervert. On, off. On, off. But room, you know by now, I love you. And in love, there are no secrets, room. So when I leave, I am going to take the pen, the pencil, the coffee, the tea, the sugar, the creamer, the pen, the envelopes, and if I can manage it, one big, fat, white, virginal towel. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Shiny. Go out and buy that one book.
Just take questions.
Questions? You want questions? What do you... Arey yaar. Okay, take questions. Say anything you want. Ask anything you want. But, okay, chalo. Keep it quick so that I can go out. See. Anybody? No? See, they don't have questions. Yay, thank you so much. Next one. Bye-bye. I'll be hanging out outside.